Hey guys, Christina Marie here with a new video for you. I thought this would be fun. You know, I feel like everyone has at least one author that if they release a new book, you're gonna buy it regardless of what it's about because you love and respect that author so much and they've never led you astray before. Or if they have, it was for a very good reason and you understand. What I wanted to share with you today are my top 10 Insta-Read authors, meaning authors I will read regardless of what book they've written or put out. I forgot who inspired this idea for me. I want to feel like it's something Ariel Bassett said. I think maybe, kinda, maybe, almost, not sure. But I just thought it would be cool because these authors I trust so implicitly. And when I read books, I really like to delve into the mind of the author, which is why I enjoy interviewing authors and asking them questions and tweeting them and all that kind of stuff and emailing them. Because I want to know, where was your mind at the time that you wrote this? What were you thinking? What were you inspired by? And I think that it's so cool. And when I do that kind of thing, I gain a greater respect for the author as a person and not just an author. And so I've done that with a few of these people, or somebody else has done it, and I've read various interviews that they've had with, you know, other people. But either way, I'm just like, oh, I like you as a person. I must read everything you've ever written. And so, yeah, here are my top 10 Insta-Read authors. Number 1, she's brand new to my life, but I love her like no other. Mindy Ruiz. Mindy Ruiz is the author of The Enchanted Heart, which is the first book in a brand new fantasy young adult series. I raved about The Enchanted Heart. I love it. I am obsessed with the characters, with the world, and with Mindy. Oh my gosh, I love this woman. So if you want to know how in love I am with this book, I will link my review of The Enchanted Heart down below, but I will read and purchase anything that Mindy writes. And Mindy is a subscriber of my channel. So hi, Mindy! Number 2, Cassandra Clare. Duh. Like, you guys have to know that was coming. The Mortal Instruments is the reason why I even started my booktube channel, why I even started blogging, why I even fell in love with reading again. The Mortal Instruments, City of Glass, is my favorite Cassandra Clare book. I have a quote tattooed on my freaking arm. I'm that in love with it. Like, I can't even begin to tell you how much Cassandra Clare's writing has changed my world and changed the way that I talk, the way that I think, the way that I read books, the way that I appreciate books, the way that I just go about my life. Yes, it's a fantasy book, but Cassandra Clare has a way of making you feel, laugh, get angry. I don't even know. It's the way that she connected to me through the way she wrote her books, and I trust her implicitly to take care of me as well as her characters when I'm reading one of her books. I love Cassandra Clare. Number 3, Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover is an amazing new adult contemporary author. I was introduced to her earlier this year with Hopeless, and then Losing Hope, and then Finding Cinderella, and then Maybe Someday, and then Slammed, and then Point of Retreat, and then the other book I can't remember that's part of the Slam series. But I will tell you, and I read Ugly Love too. Ugly Love is my least favorite Colleen Hoover book, but it's still really, really good. My favorite Colleen Hoover book ever is Maybe Someday. I cannot tell you how deeply that book touched me. That and Hopeless. Oh my gosh, I felt for days after I read those 2 books. I mean, for days. I could not shut up about those books. The characters, Ridge from Maybe Someday, was, oh, I still don't have the words for how affected I was by these books. And Holder from Hopeless, I can't, there aren't words to describe how real and vulnerable and open and honest these characters felt to me. And I just was there with them on every level. So Colleen Hoover, anything she writes, anything, take me on the journey, Colleen. I'm here at your disposal. Make me feel things. Number 4, A.S. King. A lot of you who have been watching this channel know that either late last year or early this year, I went on a huge A.S. King binge. Like, I read everything she's ever written with the exception of the new book that's not out yet. Everything that she's ever written, and A.S. King easily made her way up to one of my all-time favorite contemporary, young adult contemporary authors. My favorite book by her is Please Ignore Vera Dietz, followed by Reality Boy, followed by Everybody Sees the Ants, followed by a book Ask the Passengers. All of those books are so amazing, but Please Ignore Vera Dietz, oh, that book cut me to the core of my existence, and I still think about it, I still talk about it. It was amazing because I was able to put myself in the shoes of Vera when she was dealing with her feelings with Charlie, about Charlie. Oh, the book was perfection. And then Reality Boy was amazing too. It was amazing. It was amazing. Hands down, I will buy anything A.S. King writes. Number 5, Benjamin Alire Saenz. I have only read one book by this man, and you guys know what it is. I talk about it all the time. I talk about it all the time. I don't shut up about it. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. I love that book. That book is my favorite everything. It is probably my favorite book of all time. Probably. I don't even understand how a book just stays with you long after you've read it. Well, I understand because that's what this book did, but it's so insane to comprehend that words on a page from someone else's creative brain can impact you and stick with you and just ingrain itself in your psyche to where you can't help but be different because you have read that book. If I've written any reviews on any of the books, any of the authors I mentioned, any of the books I mentioned, I will link it all in the comments, in the description down below. I will link my Aristotle and Dante review because there weren't enough words. There weren't words in the English language for me to express how much I love this book. It was amazing. I will buy anything that man writes. As a matter of fact, he's written a few other books that I will be purchasing before the year's end. I promise you that. Number 6, Rick Riordan. Rick Riordan, duh. He's written my favorite children's series ever. He's written Percy Jackson and the Olympians. That series, I love mythology. I love all mythology. And Greek mythology is what's addressed in Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Roman mythology is what Rick Riordan tackles in The Heroes of Olympus. I love both series. As you all know, that I am in the middle of the Heroes of Olympus series. I'm on book 2, finishing that up today. And it's amazing. It's amazing. I don't even understand how Rick Riordan can keep all his facts straight. Yes, I know mythology is his thing. I know that, but I'm just like, how are you so brilliant when I'm reading the story, the worlds he creates, the characters he creates. I cannot tell you how in love I am with Percy Jackson. And I love Jason too from the Heroes of Olympus. I love Leo. I love Frank. I love Annabeth. Just everybody. It's so good. Rick Riordan, where you lead, I will follow. Seriously. Seriously. Oh my gosh. Number 7, Cora Carmack. Okay. Now, Cora is on this list. Cora has a special place in my heart. And that is because she gave me Coach Cole from the Rusk University series, the first book, All Lined Up. I love that man. He's the main character's father. She knows how obsessed I am with Coach Cole. Everybody knows how obsessed I am with Coach Cole because I can't shut the heck up about it. But that book, I love sports. I was raised in a family that loves sports. My mom has 3 brothers, and they all love sports. So therefore she loves sports, and therefore it was passed down to me. I worked in the athletics department when I was in college. I love sports. I played volleyball as a kid. I ran track as a kid. I love sports. I love it. And I recently have developed this intense love for football like no other. And so when I found out Cora was writing a football book, I was like, I need it. Not to mention that I met Cora and I love her. Cora, heart you. And the story from All Lined Up just touched me like no other. I did a review. I will link it down below. And then I also read Losing It, which wasn't my favorite book, but because I know Cora and because her personality is just so tangible, it is so beautiful, I could not help but fall in love with her as a person as well as an author. And I love losing it. I haven't read Faking It and Finding It yet. I'm trying to savor those books. I know people rave about those books, but I'm like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. And I do have an advanced reader's copy of All Broke Down, the second book in the Rusk University series, but I'm not ready for that either. I'm not ready. I want to just, I'm sitting in my stew of Cora Carmack love. That sounds absolutely disgusting, but it's delicious. And I'm happy and I love it there and I want to stay there at least for a little bit. But yes, Cora Carmack, you do no wrong in my eyes. You're amazing. Mwah. Number 8, J. Crownover. You guys may or may not know, but I am one of the admins of J. Crownover's fan club / Facebook page, Crownover's Crowd. I will link that down below if you're interested in joining. And I have such a deep love for J and her way of making characters so real and so flawed, so lovable, even when they're bad. Like Better When He's Bad, her latest release, Bax is bad, but I still love him. And my Archer boys, Rule and Rome, have a special place in my heart. So do Jet and Nash. But the way that Jay is able to just give you these characters, they're not perfect, they're nowhere near perfect. And the women that they're with are so strong and so complimentary to the characters. And I just really appreciate the world that Jay creates. While a lot of the authors that I'm talking about aren't necessarily the best writers, they are the best storytellers. And I feel like that trumps writing skills, like grammatical errors and syntax and all that stuff. That trumps that any day. If you can tell me a good story, if you can immerse me into your world and make me believe what you're telling me and make me feel things by the end of the book, you're amazing. And J. Crownover can do that. I love the way that she writes and I love the stories that she tells. And Jay, I'm getting tattoos because of you. This is all your fault. I am now corrupted. I take no blame. It is all you. But I welcome it. Heart you. Sarah J. Maas. What? The Throne of Glass series. What? Who is that brilliant? Sarah J. Maas, that's who. Oh my gosh. I read The Throne of Glass and I was like, what kind of sorcery did I just enter into? Because this book is going to take over my life, this series. And then I read Crown of Midnight, which was even better than Throne of Glass. And I'm like, what kind of witchcraft did you have me under, Maas? And I have the Assassin's Blade, haven't read it yet, trying to save her, but the Heir of Fire comes out in 2 days, and I'm gonna run to Barnes & Noble and pick it up because I need it in my life. And I met Sarah J. Maas a few months ago, and she is so humble and so sweet. She had us sign a book for her. Like, she has a book out on her desk and she had all of us sign it. And she was so overwhelmed with how long the line was for people to meet her. She started tearing up and crying and I started tearing up and crying. And then I met her and she was like an angel. She was like a book angel. She was so gorgeous, first of all. Oh my gosh. And I think that's the first thing I said to her when I met her is like, oh my gosh, your makeup is gorgeous. You are gorgeous. What? Who are you? Is essentially what happened. I trust Sarah so much with this world that she's created in the Throne of Glass series. I trust her so much and I just eagerly await the next part of the journey that she's taking us on. People have read Heir of Fire already, have read the arc. I haven't been talking to them because I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know anything. I need Sarah to take me on this journey without being influenced by anyone else who has read it. But Sarah, just, there are no words for how much I love you. It's like intense love. And then number 10, the final author that I will just auto buy at the drop of a hat, Veronica Rossi. That woman, the world that she created in the Under the Never Sky trilogy. And here's the thing. Remember when I read Under the Never Sky, while I was reading it, and the first 150 pages, I was like, I hate this book. It's ridiculous. I don't know if I can stick with it. I can't do this. It's so slow. I don't get anything. I'm so confused. What is Arya doing? Who the heck is Perry? What is this happening? And then somebody, a lot of you tweeted me or whatever and told me to stick with it It's amazing, and I am so glad I did. Usually if I'm not into a book by like a page 100, I have deemed it mediocre. And I didn't do that with Veronica Rossi because I you know, when you're reading a book and you feel like it's gonna get better, this book is gonna get better, but you start to lose a little bit of hope when you hit like page 100. That's how I felt. I was like, this book is gonna get better, right? And then somebody on Twitter told me that it did, and I said, okay, affirmation. Okay, it's confirmed. It's gonna get better. And so I kept reading, and I don't know what happened, but like page 151, a whole new turn was taken, and I was like, what book am I reading? Is this a new book? And then books 2 and 3 of that series, of that trilogy, oh my gosh, words can't express. They can't express how on the edge of my seat I was with this series. How much I fell in love with these characters. Roar and Liv and Brooke, even though Brooke annoyed me a lot of the time. Arya and Perry and other characters that I know I'm missing. But oh my gosh, it was so Talon. There we go, Talon. But it was so good. So good. And I remember when the series was over, I closed the book and I was like, oh my gosh, it's over. Like, what do I do now? What's next? What? You know? And I met Veronica Rossi a couple months ago, same day I met Sarah J. Maas, and I told her, I said, you can't even understand how excited I am to meet you right now, because you have written one of my all-time favorite young adult dystopian series, and I don't even know if you know what you mean to me in terms of the book world right now. You are just like a goddess to me right now in the book world, because I just was so in love with Under the Never Sky, and I felt like I was there, is really what it was. And it was just so great to meet her and tell her that, and I will buy anything that she writes, because she is just a beautiful person who is a phenomenal storyteller. I'm there for it, 100%. Bow down to these 10 authors. So that is it for this video. That is my list, my top 10 Insta-Read authors. I'm really curious as to what you have on your list. Like, who are your Insta-Read authors? You can comment down below with those answers, because I'm really curious. And if you want to go into detail, explain why they're your Insta-Read authors. I would love to know that as well. Rain is breaking the blinds, so I have to go. But yeah, I am just so ecstatic to be a part of this world. I'm so ecstatic to say that I met half of the authors that I mentioned. I am so ecstatic to be able to make videos and share with you guys why I love the things that I've loved. Like, do you not understand how exciting this is for me? If you have any inclination to make a video about this kind of thing, or to make a blog post about this kind of thing, do it, because it's an amazing feeling to be able to just spout off what you love. And I'm gonna go now because I am hot, and I'm gonna take off the stupid sweater because I'm doing laundry, and that's why I'm wearing a sweater in the middle of freaking 100-degree weather. It's not 100 degrees, I'm exaggerating. But anyway, yes, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Click that thumbs up button because my likes are active now. Comment down below with your Insta-Read authors. Make sure you like my Facebook page. What else do I need to say to you? Follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, all that fun stuff. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going. Okay, bye.